Chainsaw Diaries is coming to you from Immortals Inc. Studios. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coming at you live from Immortals Inc. Studios. It is the Chainsaw Diaries, back and better than ever. Guys, what's up, man? It feels like it's been a while.
It has.
Yeah, it sure has been.
Yeah. A lot of things been going down. A lot of changes.
Yeah, we've gotten a couple of new exciting things going on for Chainsaw Diaries. We ran our first tournament. That was pretty awesome.
Boom. Shamelessly, I won the tournament we ran.
That's right, because
Shenanigans.
Every Chainsaw Diaries tournament, we guarantee shenanigans.
Yeah, I mean, we're 100% won all of our tournaments so far.
Right.
What'd you play?
I played Dark Angels. Literally, I was not intending. I mean, we talked at length about.
You didn't intend on winning.
I didn't intend. I was like, man, there's no way I'm gonna win this. I played 2 or 3 units of Terminators, which is already an unoptimized unit, and the fact that I took 3 units of it, up to 3 units. Then I had Captain in Terminator armor. I had Belial. I had a Deathwing Champion. I had Ravenwing Champion. A few Bikers. Some Black Knights, and then I took Trip Flyers. I had 2 hearses and what was it? Sorry, 2 hearses and a what do you call it? A cathedral, monastery?
Yeah, something like
Church. You call it church? Yeah.
Just church.
Yeah, church.
Not a fancy
Not a fancy
church.
church.
So, the common theme is we're multiple wound
It's true.
models.
Yeah, but you think about it, it's expensive, it's elite. I thought I was gonna get torched, frankly, because it's not an optimal list by any standard. I mean, I guess you could argue the Flyers are kind of optimal-ish.
Flyers and multiple wound models that hit hard, shoot good, re-roll.
But they're expensive.
Yeah. You had
so's a nice
durability.
car. Yeah.
Durability.
I guess that's
Right,
true.
you pay for that, like, you know.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, though, I never felt like I really dominated so much. I felt like I was able to, I minimized my mistakes and I was able to capitalize on my opponent's mistakes. I didn't feel like I totally, like, when we put our models down, like, list-wise, I was like, man, I'm just going to torch them. I always felt like, man, I got some work to do. You know, I'm facing IG with guard, you know, I got a ton of shooting. I'm facing Eldar, they got a ton of shooting. I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, because, like, a lot of AP, a lot of shots. I was like, I'm going to lose a bunch of stuff if I'm not
they have
careful.
Shields, so you have a lot of 3-up involved?
I did not. I did not have any storm shields, I don't think. No, I didn't have any storm. I may have had one, maybe. I don't recall I have any. So
everybody focused probably on your planes?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, obviously, because I'm deep striking Terminator, so they weren't on turn 1.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I mean, I played 3 opponents, and one of them was sitting across the table.
Some idiot.
Mr. Meat himself, sausage.
Brought that Eldar meat.
He did. He brought that Eldar meat, man, and it got roasted. Both sides, man. It was well done. That was well done, man.
Dark Angels love their barbecue.
That's what I've heard. So
Well,
Dark Angels love barbecue.
Yeah, I know. That's straight out of the rule book. It says that right there.
Like page 5.
That's one of their
Don't
secrets.
tell anybody about the lion or our secret sauce.
A secret. That's right. Don't tell you about those herbs and spices.
Right.
But I thought I was gonna get torched by you because first turn he got first turn. Did you seize on me or no?
I seized.
He seized. Yeah. And you destroyed, like, all of my... I think you left 1 flyer, like, limping. He destroyed... I had 3 flyers, 2 of them just down, flat out. Because you had 2 units of Dark Reapers?
I had 3 units of Reapers.
You sure? I only remember 2.
I think I had 3.
Paid the points for 3 only best.
So,
but, yeah.
So, how did you lose, then, with doing so well?
Like, yeah,
he
torched me on turn 1, but... I was able to score a lot, and then I was able to effectively take out his Dark Reapers after that. So, like, they had that turn 1, but I took them out.
Yeah, Jeff was able to tie me up in a couple disadvantageous charges that he got a hold of me. It was a tough matchup, and it was only my second game playing Eldar. I just gotten the Codex, and I forgot 2 rounds of Psychic, I believe, against you. So yeah, that
I think you only forgot 1, but I think you may have forgot to cast somebody or something.
Possibly.
I definitely remember you forgetting one psychic
Yep,
fist.
and that really kind of.
And it was like 2 phases after too. I was
Yep.
like, I might have given it to you after the the shooting phase, like maybe, but it was like almost the next turn. You're like, oh wait.
I am not a smart man. No, it was really just rookie mistakes with the new army, and Jeff is, despite his refusal to take the best units, Jeff is a good player.
Oh, thanks.
So,
Thank you. That's not. I consider myself an average player. I just get.
Yep.
I love how Matt gives me a nice comment, and she's like, sure.
I like that. Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
No, I think I'll keep you at the average because you refuse to take some really good units.
And I acknowledge that.
The thing is though, you have to be like. I like handicapping the idea of handicapping because now you have to you make less mistakes, you focus more on this, so
Sure.
that'll make you a better player than the guys who do take the the easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So in the long it's a long game.
Sure.
It's
Well,
a long con.
you could argue it's the way you word it makes it sound like I am doing something like noble, or I'm like trying to play hard.
Noble,
but
you're not taking Castellans and or you're not taking the really Hellblasters and your Dark Angels. That you're not doing the best stuff. Ezreal bubble and all that. I think it's absolutely honorable.
Well, I appreciate that. I think it's mainly I just like
stupid, but it's honorable.
Sure,
Yeah,
honorable.
But is it like isn't there a correlation between stupidity and courage? Right.
There is.
So it's the same thing with honor. I mean, not saying
sure. I get what you're saying, and it's just for me when I win the way I do it myself. Because I could totally net list and be like, oh, I got this, and this because some guy won a tournament with it or whatever, whatever. But it just wouldn't feel authentic for me. So I like to just, hey, I like that model. I'm gonna figure out how to win with it, or even then just have fun with it. It's not even about winning for me. I just like to.
No. So okay. So
frankly, I was shocked.
Beat the meat man.
You're
on the road.
I was shocked that I did
yeah,
this.
Actually, I know. I was shocked. I was like, what? Yeah. I thought your list would win. Hands down.
I pulled.
So yeah, go over your list real quick.
Yeah, I played Eldar very similar to a lot of the tournament lists that you're seeing out there, with the exception that I wasn't playing Ynnari. So
that's true. Yeah.
What I was looking at bringing to the table was a lot of high firepower, low AP weapons. So I was able to neutralize a lot of threats in the first round. I played
high power, low AP weapons.
So I mean AP -3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. High power. I guess I'm saying that right.
The old, seventh edition, because it was used to be like AP2 would cut 2+ armor and above.
Okay.
So the lower the AP, the more armor it cuts.
Old player bad logic. Okay. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But
I would have probably said the same thing.
I played. I played a lot of the tougher players in the tournament.
You did.
I started off with Josh Minnick, who is a very, very good demon player.
Names?
Oh, I started off with a local demon player who is very good and brought a double.
I thought he was gonna win it. Oh, frankly, when everybody put their models down, I thought he was winning.
And I was
had good numbers on him, but
I was able to take Magnus off the board in one turn, so my list did not suck. The guy playing it, on the other hand,
the pilot.
Yeah.
Operator error.
It really came down to the game that I played against Jeff, because the last game that
that was game 2. Yeah, that's usually the make or break game.
Yeah, the last game that I played in the tournament, he was a model away from me tabling him.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, he did really good last game.
Yeah, I did pretty well. I didn't end up placing in the tournament. I think I came in 7th with a.
I thought it was 5th, frankly, because we.
It felt like 7th because you just.
If you're not first, you're last, man. So
yeah, that's pretty much the way I felt too.
Yeah,
I was frustrated with myself for the second game because there were a lot of mental mistakes, and whenever I play Jeff, I know if I make any mental mistakes, I'm toast.
Wow, you're giving me so much credit right now.
No, it's
this is weird. This is weird.
You're
Me
on the table. You have talent on the table.
Wow, man, I've never received this much praise.
right here in this chair, you suck.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when you open your mouth about talking about Terminators, you are the worst 40K player ever. But somehow it just translates to.
That's why G's here, just to balance out my effusive praise.
I appreciate that, man. That's very nice of you.
No, I took forgetting more than one psychic phase. I don't care what you're playing, you're gonna lose the game.
Yep.
Like,
especially in a Psyker.
unless you're playing Black Templars.
Yeah, that's right.
Or unless you're playing like
Mechanicus or Tau.
Mechanicus Tau, like, then you are done. So that sucked. So then, I mean,
yeah, I was very excited about how well the Dark Reapers had performed in the first game and in the first round. So I was looking to
riding that high
and just completely skipped out.
Well, I think honestly, I mean, if they were still on the table firing turn 2, you wouldn't have needed a psychic phase.
Right.
But the fact that I was able to actually disrupt that.
Yep.
And then you forgetting yourself is like that's a double negative.
man, yeah.
And that double negative does not turn into a positive.
That's the only one. Okay. So
your game 2 was, and then your game 3 you kind of
I took
strode through.
Yeah, I took him to town.
So my game 1 I played against guard, and it was a lot of tanks and a lot of bodies. It was actually a really close game. It was, I don't know how it would have turned out if it went the distance because time constraints and stuff. But it was a good close game. I felt it could have gone either way. I probably could have pulled it out, or he could have pulled it out, frankly. But I did okay. I was able to neutralize the big threats and stuff. And then I played Matt, which was obviously that put me to the top because it was a big swing. And then I played Horde Tyranids the last game. So I played 2 Horde armies, and I did. And honestly, I felt like I should have lost that game. I don't know. Like there was times where he could have taken me off of objectives or whatever, and he chose to attack things. Like he had a Flying Hive Tyrant, and he was just trying to take out my planes, which is like, we were playing ITC missions, which I really love ITC missions, frankly. It was the combined arms ones, which were pretty basic, but they're still,
it worked out well.
Yeah, they're still flavorful in the sense that you get that Maelstrom randomness, and then you still have the Eternal War certainty, I guess you could say. But yeah, I don't know. I felt because killing isn't that critical in some of these missions.
Was it a new player?
No,
he was a good player.
Yeah, I thought his list was nice. He had a lot of. I mean, he was in the top table.
And on top of that, you have to look at the fact that ITC is not as prevalent in the Midwest. It's not a format.
I guess that's true.
You're used to seeing out here because Adepticon runs their own format for the tournament.
That's a good point.
Which is the Midwest big show right now. They did not run ITC at Glass City either. Mm-hmm. So we're really kind of championing that out here.
Yeah.
What do they do at Nova?
Nova
is that custom?
Runs their own missions too. Mike Grant has always been a big proponent of his own mission pack, and not that Nova or Adepticon's missions are bad or or worse than ITC, but ITC does bring something that only the guys down in Atlanta for Paul Murphy and his guys do, which is the assigned tertiary mission. So rather than going with your regular just slay the warlord, just line breaker, just first blood, you had a list of 8 to 10 options that you can pick that really you were able to tailor to your style of army. So the better players, the people who were able to get to the top tables, some of our other local guys came in. I believe was it Charles or Nate who came in third?
Charles.
That's right. Charles.
Nate came in second.
Yeah.
Charles brought the shadow sword.
The shadow sword.
The big box of death.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shadow Sword will get you second, third.
Yeah.
That'll get you there.
That'll get you there.
Man, yeah, it'll get you over the hump. Get you over the hump.
He had.
He took out the double Primarch list. He tabled that.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, man.
A couple mistakes. I think he could have gone
There were some
differently.
very costly mistakes that he made against that list, and then he could have got both his Primarchs there, but oh well. No, Charles did well. That which was good.
Sure.
I think I don't know if like I don't know how I feel about that argument that these people from this area aren't used to this game style versus that game style. Like,
yeah.
You get handed. You select your missions or what you choose.
Yeah, they were out there,
and then you play
weeks in advance.
So like that's weird.
That's weird.
Yeah, like you just.
Well, frankly,
that's why I asked if the guy was new, because like a lot of the new players are like, oh, I just want to kill, or they
don't even know how to.
They
don't. You even give them the missions and they weren't aware of how to play.
Yeah, they're like, oh, that's sweet.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna.
It happens
we
all
did
the
have
time.
that happen on the table.
Yeah, we did.
The mission was completely ignored.
Yeah, I was like, so what was the score, guys? What?
Score?
What?
I killed 4
Playing
things.
for points.
I killed 4 things. What did that get me? You got 0.
Yeah. So like, that's so. All right, so that's good. That was our first one, right?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Yeah.
We've got a string of them coming up. We're going to be hosting one in April out at the shop.
Shop in Vermilion.
Vermilion, yeah. We're going as far west as we have gone. I've played a tournament out there, came in second out there. So,
That's good.
Little golf clap.
Jake's finished second out there, too, with his Tyranids.
Yeah, so.
Oh, did he play? Did they have one last week?
Yeah, last week or 2 weeks ago.
Jake, wow, and I wish they would post, and this isn't a slight to anyone, but I like it when people post results.
Well,
I think he only posted it on his Facebook, not like the local Facebook. I think it's just his store's Facebook.
Just post them. I just feel like I just like to know. It's like fun things to read. And you're like,
fun stuff to read.
Yeah. I did the little write up for him last time that we went out, so we could see everybody could see what happened, and so I did the little write up the last time we were out there, and gave everybody kind of the look at what was going on. So that's kind of something that we're looking to do for the community. Kind of the reason why we're getting into hosting these, and I officially have made Jeff lose his shit. So.
Tough to hear Matt over that meat sizzling over there.
Oh my god!
All those of you who think that horse is dead,
we're riding it.
Yeah, it's not dead.
It is riding gloriously. It's alive and well.
Speaking of meat, what were you saying with the community?
So we're getting some tournaments out there. We're getting out there to a couple new shops. We're gonna be heading out to a shop in Ravenna. We're gonna be heading out to a shop in Ravenna here.
They let you grill out there.
Got the charcoal in the trunk.
It's ready to go, man.
I tell you.
I'm sorry, I'm on a kick right now.
So,
Woo!
Ravenna. Now, we're just participating, or is that going to be one of ours?
We're gonna tailgate.
Right now we're
tailgate. We're gonna tailgate.
Right now we're just kind of.
We should tailgate.
Yeah, we should.
We're
Yes.
just kind of talking to the shop right now, getting out there, meeting the local player base. We're gonna talk about hosting. So.
What?
Who just shot their volcano cannon?
Dropping bombs.
Wow.
Oh
my god, that was bad.
Right in the meat locker. That's some rancid meat right there.
Oh my god, dude. What'd you eat in Mexico?
I tell you, man, real talk, the Mexican food down in Mexico is so fresh. It's so good. It's so good. Like, everything tastes so much better down there. Like seafood is way fresh. Okay, go on. Sorry.
No. I lived there for 3 months. It was amazing.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay. So, I'll ask you again.
Ravenna.
We're talking about Ravenna.
Community, Ravenna.
We're tailgating. We are tailgating.
Okay, so we'll be tailgating in Ravenna.
At Battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're checking it out, checking out the scene, getting more of that Cleveland 40K in. We're also
expanding.
Reaching out to the community and,
getting out there. With, the nice thing that...
bringing more stores under our banner.
getting more people to join into what we're looking to call the Chainsaw Diaries tournament circuit.
Hell yeah, man!
Yeah, it's exciting.
I want to do this. Get regional notoriety.
Right. That's our goal. Is to get to. We'll start at the store level and then slowly move up and start hosting tournaments around.
Because you think about it. Yeah. Because you think about it. I mean, outside of like Adepticon and Nova, which is kind of, you could argue, the coast almost. There's not really.
Atlanta? What's the one in Atlanta called?
It's
War something.
Okay, so there's one in Atlanta.
So that's
close.
Yeah, it is.
So Chicago and Atlanta are the closest one to us in Ohio.
Nova.
It's
Virginia.
Yeah, it's
Virginia.
DC. Yeah, DC area.
Okay.
So,
Great.
but like you think about it, there's a huge gap. I mean, you talk about Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. I mean, I guess there's a little bit in Pennsylvania with there's that Legions or something.
There's a Legions. There's a GT in Michigan. There's a GT in Toledo. There's a GT in Columbus.
But it's not.
But it's not.
It's not Adepticon level. Yeah.
GT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's still it'd be great to be just a part of that and fit somewhere in the middle of those.
Yeah. Right.
And
exactly.
Give
other
guys who are
options.
competitive. The guys like me who want to play competitive.
Who don't want to, have to fly and only do it, once every 3 months and then have to fly somewhere.
I'd love to go to SoCal Open, but
woo, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I do want to get out to one of those out west. We got to do one of those sometime.
I'm all for it, man. BAO, SCO, LBL,
yeah.
whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
Reese is my boy, so we gotta.
No, I'd love to go out there and
that would be really dope.
Get destroyed, but
I was like, you're gonna get destroyed. I'm gonna get destroyed.
It'll just be learning. I'll actually be taking a lot of notes as I lose.
I have to say, next year, I got to do some broadcasting over at the Glass City GT as well.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And there was an amazing turnout. Not just 64 players at a local GT, but as far as national players go, Tony Death was there. Alan Baramovic, who is a phenomenal player who ended up winning with a really, really great chaos list.
Was there any other players? I felt like there was somebody else there too.
I'm trying to think.
Was it Aaron Along?
Aaron Along was there, and then of course.
Look at me hanging around with Matt for a couple months, and I know 40K tournament players. Look at that.
Go. And then of course all the Toledo, the 40K Wrecking Crew people were there as well. Brad Chester and those guys. But there was some really high level play, some really, really tough lists. The guys from Purge the Alien were there. I was casting with Drop Pod, our friends out in Akron.
So there's a lot of personalities. There's a lot of people to
know,
continue to build this area up,
to meet.
Which is what's exciting is Drop and everyone in just working together to making sure we have the best meats.
Yeah,
the finest cuts.
The finest cuts of meat.
Of meat at these tournaments. Yeah. So I think
we got dry rubs, we got the marinades.
I think the fact that Matt is our official meat aficionado.
I mean, we gotta really talk to him about this stuff.
We should offer barbecue at our
barbecue.
At our things, so,
I'm game for this.
I'm down for barbecue. You don't have to ask me twice.
Some tournaments you're allowed to drink, while you play, in Vegas or whatever.
Beer Hammer at Vegas.
Yeah. So here you got sausage links.
You can make it
I'll show you my hammer. You show you my hammer.
Yeah. Each round,
you gotta eat a
different cut of meat.
Okay, it's like a Brazilian steakhouse 40K.
So round 1, everybody gets hot dogs. If you win,
there you
round
go.
2, you get up to a burger. the finals is like filet mignon or something. Like,
Honestly, I think they just have guys walking around with meat and they just cut you a slice. Oh yeah, I'll take some.
All right, man.
Brazilian steakhouse.
It's gonna be one hell of an entry fee because we got to cover all that.
Oh, for sure. And plus, you think about 40K tournaments last a long time, so we got to store that meat.
Yeah. No, I mean, all right.
Get the chill locker. Have it at Texas Day Brazil.
Yeah.
Have the tournament at Texas Day Brazil.
That'll be awesome. All right. Well, yeah. That sounds
up for $150 tournament.
Yeah, literally, it's gonna be $150 entry fee, guys. But there's gonna be endless meat.
All of the meats
served by citizens or
the finest, served by the finest.
Citizens. Yeah,
finest.
All right, that'll be our thing. That'll
meats chosen.
Get us recognized. You're like, those guys in the Midwest give you meat and this meat while you play 40K. Like,
honestly, I think we should open up to beverages. I mean,
the only thing is when you do that.
Oh gosh, that's
yeah. There's some liability there.
It's an insurance risk. That's an insurance risk.
That's
my forte.
Yeah.
Send him down to Mexico. He's already. Let's start selling tequila every round.
Yeah. Shots. We got a shot here, shot there. Margaritas.
Yeah, I'm against drinking during, but like. If we're next to a bar,
is this Balmer's Curb? Is there a Balmer's Curb for 40K?
I have to say that
we gotta test this.
If it wasn't for drinking in the BAO, I don't think I'd have made it past the 4th round because I had a need for a beverage or 4. It was not going well.
No,
not turning my way.
Yeah, no, I'd have Diet Coke or water because
he's so serious.
I'd be so about the game. Yeah, I'd be so
serious.
So like on it. So I'd be like all about my opponent. Like, hey, I'll buy you another round. We're playing. Like, but I'm not gonna drink.
Yeah. So, be like, give me a Jack and Coke. Hold the Jack.
She's showing up with a bottle of 181 and a glass of water.
Yeah, dude.
Shots out of his.
Yeah. As I deploy, I was like, hey, for every 3 units that we put in Deep Strike, you get a shot of Tito's. Or something. Here you go, bud.
From Cleveland.
Yeah.
Look at that Tito's.
Yeah. No, but I'd be about the meat more than the alcohol. So
as would Matt.
Yes.
He'd
do both. He would be double fisting. He would not be able to
roll
his
sausage sandwich dripping.
Roll his dice because he's got a pulled pork sandwich and a giant Miller in the other hand. He's like, yeah, they're just dead. Yeah.
I said so.
That's why I forgot the psychic face.
Yeah.
Couldn't roll the dice.
I don't need my psychic face. I'll take a refill.
That's right.
So
you guys are saying all this like it's a bad thing.
No, it's all good.
40K world agrees with me. Meat and alcohol is the reason.
Oh my gosh. Woo. Next level. This is next level meat jokes.
Yeah. So, I mean, I keep talking about the community.
Yeah, actually, that's one other thing that I want to talk about. We've, everybody knows that we do the local Monday nights at 40K here at Immortals Inc. And I think we had 15 people here tonight.
14, 15 people. We
had
all
the tables were full.
All tables were full.
Yeah, we did. That's right. Yeah, we had 15 because we had a table of 3 guys playing.
So we had we didn't have to bust out the emergency table, but it was ready for deployment.
Ready for takeoff.
Yeah. Like I think the scene has grown here quite a bit, and they've adapted to it. Having 7 tables open on Monday is really good for anybody who wants to come down, who's ever been down, and get a game in. And I like the fact that we are making sure that new players are playing. Like, I'll sit out,
we'll sit out.
Any of us will sit out to make sure that, one of the new guys is playing. So, it's actually really exciting that it's...
The great thing about it, I gotta call you out, G. That was awesome. You've been doing a really good job of making sure that actual new to the game players are getting in a dedicated learning game with somebody who knows what they're doing and will take the time to say, here's how you play this at a macro level. You're the 10,000 foot view of 40K and really taking the time to break it down.
Here's why you're wrong, and let me tell you why.
You're right. You solved the secret. You can say, okay, here you're an idiot. Let's just get that out.
That was the dumbest move you could have ever made.
I don't say you're an idiot, but I do say
You allude to it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm like
everybody I've ever known who was an idiot made that move.
9 out of 10 idiots
like,
made that move.
Now, like I'm sure you didn't drop out of high school, but like that move. No, I don't do that
school?
either. No.
Just like,
Put it out there.
did you go to college?
I was like, this is Yahtzee, right? No. I do say the only thing I do say, it's the same thing when I teach kids drawing and when I instruct, is I ask them why did you make that move? Why?
Yeah, that's a good question to ask.
Every time, because even tonight's game, there was a Hellbrute. He had like secure objective 4, and there were 2 scouts like 3 inches away, or the objective 6 inches, and he was rushing towards my scouts. I was like, why don't you go to why'd you move there? And I asked him. He was like, well, I want to kill them. I was like, if you still move there, score, you're still in range to kill these guys. I was like, think about that. So I just questioned, what was your motivation for that? What were your objectives? What are you trying to achieve with that move? So if I constantly ask, they'll think before they, same thing I asked you guys, like, why aren't you bringing that unit? Or why'd you do that dumb
Jeff,
mistake?
why are you bringing all these shitty units?
Yeah, why are you still playing bikes?
Why? Hey, I won a tournament with bikes.
Bikes and tournaments.
Absolutely.
The day G stands corrected.
You know what? I have a ton of custody bikes.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So
They are jet bikes.
different bike.
Different bike. Different bike, different animal.
Different things. So, and I'm really, I
Not a
won't-
dark
I
angel.
actually
Not a
won't-
dark angel head on a
I won't play
tricycle.
that- yeah. I won't play that list with the custodes until like a big event. Because like I believe that I can. I won't lose a single game. I'll max out points
So-
with this list.
I'm curious did we see any lists in like what was that? What was the most recent one? LVO. Did we see any? Was that the most recent big tournament? LVO.
Yeah, and it was,
Did we see any custodies there?
No.
No, they just came out.
Yeah,
No.
they were
In fact,
Fair.
Nate, who's that? What was the guy on our podcast for the Tyranids podcast? In Control.
In Control, Jeff.
So
Love that
Jeff in
guy.
Control.
I'm a big fan, Jeff. Big
Yeah,
fan.
he
We share the same
actually
names.
has a custodies list that he's taking to Adepticon, and he believes that.
I saw him play Reese.
Yeah. That list, he's tailored it, and he's like, I think this is good. And I there's a few changes that I would make, but it's really good,
Heard it here first. G is ready to correct.
Not at all.
Just playing.
I think he's playing some.
He's playing
guard.
He's
and
playing
I would
some
play
mortars.
Marines. I would just
Okay.
bring Gilliman with it. That would be my only change.
Because why
This
not?
isn't a big enough number.
Because that's right. Because you need Gilliman
Gotta
with
be
that.
that kind of party.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick my Gilliman in the mashed potatoes.
Literally, like it's bad. That's why I said I'm just not gonna play it until I want to win, because it's that bad. It's like Gilliman Custodes. It's like, sorry guys,
Yeah.
So, but I'm
You got
really
some
excited.
assassins too, right?
Huh?
You got some assassons too, right?
Yeah, this is some
Okay, I was gonna say
it's brutal. It's brutal.
Because I think Jeff's list has assassins.
It
Yeah,
does have
it does.
quite a few assassins. Yes. Yeah.
Now I don't remember. Are you bringing a Vindicare? Does he have a Vindicare? I don't remember.
No. No Vindicators.
Okay. Yeah,
The
like
other ones though. The
Calexis against
Yeah,
Anti-Psyker is.
Anti-Psyker, and then the
really
one that
nice.
makes your command points, your stratagems cost more.
Oh gosh, what's that? Calidus?
The girl one,
Calidus,
Calidus.
yeah.
Yeah. So
What's
now
the
it's like-
what's the dude with the skull face? X something, isn't it? Like Exorcer assassin? I think it's a Exorcer assassin.
the one nobody
Yeah.
plays with
Yeah.
and the Vindicare nobody plays that either. So, which I like, but I guess,
I just faced somebody who had a Vindicare assassin.
uh,
On stream last
Yeah,
couple weeks
yeah.
ago.
yeah, I like them. I like them in pairs though, not just one.
Charles
'Cause I-
just played a Vindicator.
Yeah, I want.
He's only strength 5 though, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very like it was super good.
But
Last
you can't
edition
use
was
your
like
invul
strength 10.
saves if he hits, and he hits on 2s, and he hits
wounds on
infantry
2s,
Yeah, so like, and you can't use your invul save.
And he can target
So
characters
you can
out.
target characters. 72-inch range or something
Yeah.
crazy. I really like them, but I think you need more than one if you really want to be effective with them.
Sure.
So
Yeah, and you also have to hope that your opponent isn't bringing like vehicles, or because he's not good against vehicles, and you better hope that a lot of the opponent's firepower, which I guess in tournaments characters are pretty. If you're bringing characters, they're usually pretty good characters, unless they're
I believe that this edition, characters are where
Essential.
are where it's at.
Yeah.
The cat, the cat's pajamas or whatever. So like I like attacking.
Would that be the
think
choice cut?
Yeah,
in
choice cut.
Matt's terms.
I think that's how you beat Eldar is by killing their characters. So they don't
frankly,
get to-
I kind of worked out for me too.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it-
So and
Take out
that's
the
why
Farseers
I
and
think
stuff.
the Vindicare is okay. They all deep strike or have some sort of
Mechanism of
and I think that's why I like him in Robinson's list, because he's going to go after, because he played that list, that Eldar list, so he's familiar with it, so he knows to attack the characters, and the characters are at a premium right now, so that's why I really like Assassins. I don't think they were good before, and we'll see what happens if Eldar gets nerfed, but I think they're really, really in an interesting position.
I don't know.
I
The
think
way
we're past the point that they're going to get nerfed.
No way.
The only way that they're going to get nerfed, because they've gone through a major tournament cycle, and there were basically 4 of the same list in the top 10 of LVO.
Yeah. That's why I think it's
and
gonna
top
get nerfed.
2 are the
I
same,
think-
pretty much the same exact
and I
list.
think
Two models different.
if it happens in Adepticon, we'll see the change immediately. I think so. I think they're gonna get nerfed.
I thought it was
so
going to
what
happen after LVO.
So what do you think? What are they going to change? They're going to change points costs or what?
So
'Cause I
what's
feel
gonna
like
happen, there's
go on.
2 things that are going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is Dark Reapers are going to go way up in points.
I bet. I mean, Dark Reaper's really good.
They're fantastic. And the second thing that's going to happen is they're going to further restrict that Soul Burst ability.
I was going to say
all they have
that.
to do is change that.
So because that Soul Burst is just crazy.
You can soul burst once per phase, and then we're good.
I thought that's what it is now, or it's
It's like 1 unit.
one unit can Soul
just
Burst.
once.
Yeah.
But you're saying instead of it, only a unit can Soul Burst 1 per phase, but you could have 3 different units Soul Burst. You're saying you want to get it to you get 1 Soul Burst.
1 soul burst.
I would go with that.
Army-wide, I
Frankly,
agree.
I'm not a big fan. Like when that mechanic came out in 7th edition, I really didn't like that mechanic, and then now that they kept it, I just don't. From a game design standpoint, I don't see how it makes a fun game. Like it punishes your opponent for killing models, and then it obviously adds to the fact when you're killing your opponent's models.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a rich get richer kind of a thing, which I don't really like that. And there's not really a weakness to
The
it.
1%er, I mean.
And you're not paying any points for it either. You don't pay any extra.
The guy who won, he said, like, I have like 30 command points because I get to do this free action that every other army has to pay 2 command points to do.
Yeah.
He gets to do it multiple times for free.
Yeah.
And that.
And it's like, why would the other models, like those models don't lose anything. Yeah, they might lose access to stratagems or whatever, but they don't perform any different. It's like, so why would I not do that?
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, frankly. And I think the game should be more about choices, not always this. I don't like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunately, though, as long as it's a math game, you're going to run into always this.
Sure, but I think it should still be like, well, this is still actually the other option is still a viable choice, not like I should never take that because it's awful. It's I want to take this because this is better in this situation, but that one's still good. You could still run that and not be like 180 degree change.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but I think it's gonna get nerfed. I think, especially if it wins. I think if it, let's say 4 lists make it top 10 at Adepticon, they're gonna change. There'll be some changes.
I just don't see how it's a viable mechanic. But go on.
It'll be really interesting to see the 3 lists that are going to do really well at Adepticon. The Eldar's not going anywhere.
Mm.
I think that there is a Custodes build that can do really well. I agree with you and Jeff Robinson on the bike list and how well that can do and how efficient that is point-wise. And then the 3rd list is the list that I saw very heavily and prevalently at Glass City GT, which is that Chaos Soup list that is being run surprisingly without Primarchs. It's super effective and hard to take off the board. On one side, you've got ridiculous invulnerable saves, and on the other side, everything gets disgustingly resilient. And
That's
the
fun.
board control was so good. In players that understand how to manipulate your opponent's movement just by denying them areas to deploy, it forces everything that would deep strike to deploy on the other side of the table, and from there it only gives you units that are very hard to take off the table, and basically makes you come within 12 inches and then
You getting charged or
Yep.
whatever bad stuff's coming your
I'm
way.
gonna run my bikes right through that. I'm gonna send Gilliman right down that.
That alleyway.
Yeah.
all I can tell you is that the list that I saw at Glass City GT got max points 4 out of 5 games.
Nice.
And that was a chaos list?
That was a
Like this-
chaos list. Tony Death playing a chaos list.
That's
He
good.
didn't
That's
end up
good.
winning overall. That was
Wow.
That was.
So I'm assuming his
Abramovich.
last- the game
Chaos
that
is good. Chaos is good right now. So.
How's it feel, Matt?
Yeah.
Hey, I picked the right time to switch to Eldar.
Yeah, I know, right?
No, it's kind of fun. It's really nice. And the next thing is they play well even if you're not playing them optimized. So for the first time ever, I have fun when I'm playing in fun games, and I have fun when I'm playing in competitive games.
Yeah,
And
the stratagems are really good.
yeah, solid, really solid.
Like really good.
And they're the best durability army.
Does
in the game
the
outside of
Imperium
Custodes.
have a Veterans of the Long War
level goodness?
level?
Nope.
Man,
You mean like the 6s give you extra hits or something, or what?
no, +1 to wound. Right?
Oh,
Veterans
no,
of the
no,
Long-
yeah,
There's
no.
nothing like that in
Nope.
yeah.
No.
I think the Marine Codex isn't it? Like I mean that
Eldar
that
did it.
stratagem right there in Warp Time. I'm like, man, it's so good.
Warp time is solid, and then you add in some of those new Zinch powers.
Yeah, but
Zinch
yeah,
is
Chaos is
really,
good
really
for all you guys that are like Matt that have been upset that Chaos sucked for so long.
It
Should
sucked
be
for a
on
long
top
time,
of the world
frankly.
right now because like
Yeah, it's really good.
yeah.
It's really good, and you don't have to. It doesn't. The nice thing about Chaos is I don't. That's the one army that I don't feel is that you have to be gimmicky to win. You're literally,
They have a lot of options.
Yep.
Like I think people got stuck on the double Primarch thing for a while.
Yep.
And the Changeling because it was good, like fine. But you have a lot of options. I like Obliterators still, and like I hate that Nurgle doesn't have Obliterators. Like,
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, why Death Guard doesn't
I
have
don't know.
like
They
access
died
to this?
in
They don't have
sickness.
this or that. And I was like,
Yeah.
why don't you just give him access to all? You know,
they
like
mutated in the mushroom.
I find it funny because like with like Dark Angels and Blood Angels, they're giving them access to Primaris and they're giving them the Storm Talon and the Storm Raven or what all that stuff. And it's like with Chaos, they're doing the opposite. It's like, why would you do that?
I like the little differences.
Sure.
Because we get that stupid vehicle and the
Sure,
more thing.
sure. I am all for
But they'll
the
take away
chapters.
Obliterators.
I'm all for like chapter specific units and stuff like that. That's totally flavorful for both Chaos and Imperium. Totally flavorful. That's awesome. But I just like mainstay units that are really cool that you don't get access to for some reason. It's not like, oh, Hell Brutes are, what
Horn only.
or Black Legion specific. It's not. But they're it's not. I'm not a fan of
I
that.
think we'll see more of that, but yeah, but Chaos has a lot of options.
A lot.
I still think double Primarchs is a problem, and they'll correct that once
I think they need to,
Lehman Russ or the Lion, whoever good guy comes out next, and people start putting him with Gilliman. Then they're like, yeah, this is the one Lord of War per.
frankly, yeah. I'm not a fan of
No, fluff
allies.
wise, I don't like it.
And
I don't.
fluff-wise, it's like, hey, I mean, this is soup argument. I hate it, frankly. I think it's ridiculous.
Soup's good for the format.
I mean, it's... Oh.
No, you're right. Soup is good for the game, but I don't like.
I think
double
it's...
Primarch.
I don't know. I just think it's ridiculous. It's like, oh, I got my You know, the only reason you're taking these, you know, say this mortar team alongside this custodian bike alongside this assassin is because it's so good. It's not like, hey, this is actually like, again, this is the fluff guy inside of me speaking. Like, it's not really that. It's not something like, oh, this is the traveling band of mortar team custody assassin. You know, like that's not typical, and it's annoying, frankly.
Soup, having soup exists. So the rewards for playing consistent full army should be greater.
I agree. They need to change that.
So like that, I think that's why it's good for soup, because those guys that are just playing Dark Angels or Space Wolves, their chapter tactic has to be dope though. It has to be like good. That reward that guy for not playing the soup list.
Right,
but
exactly.
in order to get there, you have to have that soup has to exist.
Well, that's the thing. That's kind of what I'm getting to is like with the whole Ynnari thing is like by putting all of the different Eldars, Dark Eldar, Harlequins, Craft Worlds under Ynnari banner, they're not losing anything by doing that. They're only gaining.
That's wrong. Yeah, they should lose something here. Yeah. You're right about that.
And that's the other thing, too, because you can still max out and get a ton of command points off this stuff. And, yeah, you may not get access to, like, the Craft World stratagems, which are good, sure, but you don't get access to them. But you still get rerolls, which at the end of the day, a reroll is really good. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I need to reroll this dice. I really need. Oh, my gosh, I just won the game off that. You know what I mean? Like, and the fact that it's just, I don't know.
I think that argument is about Eldar, but I think just in general,
like it
I think
has
it's good, but
because you think about it too, is like with the more with Imperial Soup, when you can get mortar teams, then you can get access to like say, I'm not gonna say Grey Knights are an optimal army, but they do have some things that are really good, and you can mix the good things in with the good things of this, with the good things of that, and it's like you don't get the Grey Knight stratagems, which I mean, you know it better than I do. They're probably not. I've never really heard anybody rave about Grey Knight stratagems.
They were good for like a week.
Yeah. So
that was a good week.
It was good. So it's like
I haven't touched them since. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've seen you play it, but it's like so they're losing that, but they still get everything else that makes them good. So like, why would you not do that?
Yeah, that's what's happening with the Custodes guard list, because they'll get a brigade.
Mm-hmm.
Get all those command points, but they're gonna spend every one of them.
And then when you separate detachments, you still get access to that. Yeah. So it's like, I got 1,000,000 command points from my Imperial Guard. I could give 2 fucks about their stratagems. I want all of the stratagems of my Custodians. So it's like, it's ridiculous. Frankly, it's so like, I don't understand how this gets overlooked unless this is what they want, which I don't understand why you would want that. It doesn't seem to make sense, frankly.
Because it makes you buy more than one
It
army.
does
I guess that's true.
Business-wise, it's good too.
Business is booming.
Once you've kind of bought, as somebody who never played a Nurgle model until this edition, I'd say they're doing something good, because they had a guy with 7,000 points of chaos to buy 3,000 points of friggin' Death Guard. So
that's true. That's fair.
Yeah. Business-wise, it makes sense. Tournament-wise is good. I just think they should reward the guys that are purist.
That's what I'm saying. It should be.
I do wish that if there was not just your detachment was one army, but your whole army was one army, that there was some kind of bonus.
Something,
Even if it was just 3 extra command points or something of that nature or whatever.
Yeah.
Or you just, like, I guess this might be a radical change, but if you have... if you're using a set keyword for your army like Imperium, Eldari, Chaos, whatever, you only get that Battleforge 3 no matter how many detachments you have. So you only get those 3 command points.
Ooh.
So that's radical, but it's...
No, you get the 3, and
but that's it.
6 total.
No.
3 for being Battleforge and 3 for taking that no matter what.
No, because then you could get away with taking a bunch of, whatever crazy detachments that you can stack elites, and then you could do better than a battalion by not having to pay the troops tax.
All right, I mean, yeah.
See, that's because I don't know. Like, frankly, you get 3 rerolls basically.
The conversation is to reward, though, not take away.
I think on the reward side, a better way to go at it is, and it's a mechanic that's already in the game. I'd like to see if you are one faction throughout your whole army, get a +1 to see who goes first. That is roll your eyes. How many times
Yeah,
do
I
you
mean-
see the Alpha Strike? Jeff, didn't you just have a whole campaign
It's true.
about how important
It's
the
true. Alpha
was
Strike
in this
is
game?
very important, but I mean, you're still
I like
getting a
that.
plus. I mean, it's okay, but
That's
like
not enough, though.
it's not enough. That's what I think.
It's not enough.
Because you think about it, you get a +1, and the other person gets the +1 for getting all their models deployed first. Then
Yeah.
you're just at the regular
And then
roll off.
if
Who
you get
cares?
C's, then you're like, well, that was
That was
terrible.
so worth it.
Yeah, yeah. If you
Thanks,
see-
Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No,
Matt.
That's bad. Now, if you're pure faction, you cannot be seized, and you get one additional command point. That's different now.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, you cannot be. You're like, oh no, because I'm playing all space.
Sure. I get
They're
your.
used to fighting
Or
together.
you know, it'd be sweet if they made like two or three stratagems that you can only get. That's universal across the game if you're only pure. Like,
What would they do? I mean,
there's a
that's-
world. I don't know, but
There's a world we have
there's
yet to
smarter
discover.
Guys, yeah, there's a smarter guys who come up with those strategies, smarter than me, and like, but
No,
you
they
have
just
access
whatever
to
they did
those
broke
only
it.
if you're pure. You know, you get to roll 3 dice to charge, or you get to re-roll a re-roll. Like, but that's only if you're playing one chapter. Because right now you can't re-roll a re-roll, but you get to re-roll a re-roll. Or instead of re-rolling 1 dice, you get to re-roll 2. Oh shit!
Oh, money bags? Is that
Matt,
is that
Matt,
for,
whoa,
is that for
whoa.
the is that for the meat layer?
Shit.
Orcs. That's mushrooms, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Selling the mushrooms.
So like, I
fungi.
think that would be
Fungi.
super sweet. I was going to make it rain in here while I was talking.
Yeah.
But I think that would be something like that you get only for being one faction.
Sure.
But like, you can't be chaos. You have to be
Word bearers.
yeah. You have to be like, yes.
Kudos on the non mainstream chaos chapter.
Yeah.
I think...
Night Lords.
If Night Lords were ever good...
I know. I was debating about, because you know me, I love to exchange armies in and out. I was like, man, I was really looking at chaos, and I was like, man, I would love to play Night Lords. And then I was looking through it. I'm like, they
look sweet.
They look sweet. Yeah, they just look sweet. And then you got a bunch of guys with the jump packs and the claws and the fucking Batman-esque looking shit. Like, yeah.
Nosferatu, Space Marines. Yeah, that's sweet, but they're just...
it doesn't translate
They
to
are...
the table.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless... GW, if they're listening to this podcast, if you're fully
Yeah, fully Night Lords.
faction,
Yeah.
you get to,
I don't understand why they didn't get more deep striking deployment. They really missed an opportunity there.
who?
Night Lords.
Well, I thought, don't the jump pack guys get the deep strike?
Yeah, but I mean,
Well, that's their army.
Because you have to be 50%. No. Deep Strike is the strongest mechanic in the game right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And you can't just give it around like it's
No,
muffins.
Well, they forgot to give it to Adeptus Mechanicus.
Yeah.
Because they don't go anywhere. They're robots. They don't go anywhere.
Ones and zeros.
Yeah, they're...
Ones and zeros.
Yeah. They have weak legs. They can't land on those legs. Heavy upper bodies,
Hydraulics.
thin legs. Yeah.
They only get the 3-wheel motion. They don't get to,
Yeah. So, but they need that's the strongest mechanic. So you can't just give it out like anything. However, that could be another stratagem. You like one of those 3 stratagems. Like you only get if you are playing like
Free deep strike a unit.
salamanders.
Free deep strike a unit, an extra
I
unit
think
they
it
can.
could be more along the lines of like what Rangers get in Eldar, where it's not true deep strike, where you have to set up before first turn, but you still get to deploy last.
Yeah, that
Night
could be a
Lords-
good option.
Yeah, Night Lords, that makes sense for them because that was their whole thing: was strike hard, strike quick, get the fuck out. So.
Or like how you get +1 for lightning claws, they get a +2.
Yeah.
Instead, or there's got to be something cool for them. I'm sure, if they ever get, they'll never get that big,
Well, you never know, man. GW, I used to think that GW was never going to do faction-specific books for Chaos. I thought that was always going to be an Imperium only. And
2
we've got
books in.
now.
2 books in.
And, rumors are floating out there. I'm
Some
not
Nash
even
for
gonna say
sure.
it.
Almost. We have almost as many as the. You have almost as many as the Loyalist chapters because we have 3 currently.
Okay.
Grey Knights, Blood Angels, and Dark Angels.
Grey Knights are not Marines.
They are.
They're not. They're from a they're directly from the Emperor. Let's not call them.
Oh, okay. What are you talking about? They're not even.
It's
No,
like
man.
it's like the people who always say like, custodians aren't Space Marines. Yeah, I
They're
get
also
it.
not Space
I get
Marines.
it. They're not Space Marines. But when you tell me you have a super genetically enhanced human being and you throw him in super powered armor, I'm gonna on a surface level, I'm calling him a Space Marine. Just throwing that out there.
That's
All
offensive
right.
to me. No. Custodies are.
I read their
food
fluff.
chain.
I get it. They're more
And
elite.
Grey Knights.
I read their fluff, and I'm like, they are trying so hard to make this different.
The Mary Sue is turned all the way up to it. That's what it is. It's for those people that.
G is so upset right now. He's so upset. I love
Good
it.
enough for. They had to go and say. These are for all the guys who showed up and said, "Well, your GI Joe is really cool, but I got the one that changes colors, so you know,
Mine's
the
best.
I mean,
You
whatever.
have Cobra Commander, but I've got Cobra Commander and Destro. So
I had Sergeant Slaughter as a kid. Dude, so that dude beat everybody up. So,
But that's my point. It's like
he's a custodian.
he's like
Sergeant
he's
Slaughter.
it's an elite of the elite of the
Yeah,
elite of the
dude,
elite
yeah.
of the elite. It's like, all
were
right,
the-
chill out.
That's what
They're not.
grades were
Hey,
supposed
all right,
to be.
we've run long anyway,
It's true.
and we're getting to the point where
a little crazy.
this will be another half hour because I'll defend.
Yeah,
Grey
we're getting
Knights
a little slap
and
happy.
custodes. Yeah.
No, your made up guy is not as much as cool as my made up guy.
Yeah. My imaginary guy is way better than your imaginary.
And let me tell you why. In imaginary facts
Yeah.
that don't exist.
Facts. 40K lore facts.
Right. This is the fact
This is Bible.
that if they didn't convert, the custodians and the Grey Knights would be wiping out every Marine.
It's a true story.
True story.
You can't
All right,
can't
why
disregard
are you
that
gonna
fact.
argue?
Yeah, you can't argue that fact. Undebatable.
Why are you arguing something that hasn't happened, will never happen in a fictional universe? Oh, all right.
All right, guys. So yeah, we did.
We
went a
did
little bit off the
things.
tournament and
Yeah, we
communities,
just wanted to
but,
talk.
We
you
did
know,
things.
it's
We
all
had
good.
fun.
Yeah.
It's all good, and that's what we do here on TCD. We have fun.
Yeah.
It's all good. So catch up with us on YouTube. We got some new battle reports coming at you. So we've got that going. Hit us up on the stream. Hit us up on Mondays at Immortals, or catch us at a store near you, because we are coming.
Coming. We
That's
are
right.
coming. Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Why don't you take us out, man?
Haven't done this in a while. I roll one, so you don't have to.